Most de-extinction conversations ask the wrong question. They ask which animals we want back. Scientists ask a different one. Which extinctions actually broke something? Which animals left a hole that nothing alive has filled since? This is that list. 5 animals ranked by how much damage their absence is still causing right now. Every entry includes the current timeline scientists are working toward. And number 1 is not what most people expect. Number 5, the passenger pigeon. Estimated return to wild, 2040s at earliest. 3 to 5 billion birds. Flocks so large they took days to pass overhead and darkened the sky like a moving storm. The last one, a female named Martha, died alone in Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. Most people know that story. What they do not know is what the pigeons were actually doing to North American forests while they were alive. When flocks that size roosted, they broke branches, snapped small trees, and deposited enormous volumes of nutrient-rich waste across forest floors. Their mass roosting events created canopy disturbances that opened forests up and maintained the complex layered habitat structure that hundreds of species depended on. North American hardwood forests today are measurably simpler than the historical record suggests they should be. The pigeons were a forest management system, and we shot all 5 billion of them in 50 years. Ben Novak at Revive and Restore has been working on the passenger pigeon for a decade. The genome is sequenced, the editing targets are identified. The original 2025 goal for captive birds was not met. The new target for captive breeding is between 2029 and 2032. Wild reintroduction realistically takes decades beyond that. It is number 5 because the forests are still functional. The urgency is real, but not acute. Number 4, the aurochs. Estimated return. Already happening. Scottish Highlands reintroduction 2026. Every domestic cow on Earth descends from this animal. All 1 billion of them. The aurochs stood 6 feet at the shoulder, had horns spanning 3 feet tip to tip, and was the dominant large herbivore of European grasslands for hundreds of thousands of years. The last one died in Poland in 1627. The keeper recorded the death. 1 female, Jactoro forest. The ecological hole it left is slow and 400 years deep. European grasslands and forest edges that the aurochs maintained through selective grazing have either been replaced by enclosed cattle farming or succeeded to dense woodland. Both represent a loss of the habitat mosaic that hundreds of species of plants, insects, and birds require. The aurochs is the furthest along of anything on this list, not through CRISPR, through backbreeding. Rewilding Europe's Tauros program has 6 generations of selectively bred cattle that are behaviorally and ecologically close to the original. They are called Tauros, and in 2026, they are being reintroduced to parts of the Scottish Highlands. The aurochs is essentially already coming back. Quietly, without a press conference, without a colossal announcement, just cattle breeders and ecologists doing the work. Number 3, the gastric brooding frog. Estimated first viable specimen. Scientists say a small number of years, possibly early 2030s. This one went extinct in 1983, the year Return of the Jedi came out. People who saw that film in cinema are alive right now, and this frog is gone. It was small, brown, completely unremarkable, and it had a reproductive strategy so medically significant that its extinction may represent one of the most consequential biological losses in recent history. The female swallowed her fertilized eggs and brooded them in her stomach for 6 weeks. During that time, her stomach stopped producing acid entirely, completely, reversibly. The mechanism involved prostaglandin compounds that science has not fully mapped. If mapped properly, it could directly inform treatment for peptic ulcers and gastric cancer, conditions affecting hundreds of millions of people globally. A frog had a precise biological on-off switch for stomach acid, and we let the chytrid fungus take it before we understood how it worked. The Lazarus Project at the University of New South Wales produced viable embryos through nuclear transfer in 2013. They did not develop to tadpoles. But the team has not stopped. Lead researcher Mike Archer said publicly they are confident a living frog is a small number of years away, perhaps less. The genome is recoverable. The technology has improved considerably since 2013. The honest caveat is that any revival also needs to solve the fungal resistance problem that killed the original population. Without that, the frog comes back to the same threat. Number 2. Steller's sea cow. Estimated timeline? No firm date. Early stage research using dugong as foundation. Almost nobody has heard of this one. Discovered in 1741. Hunted to extinction in 1768. 27 years after discovery. 9 meters long, 10 tons. The largest marine mammal since the Pleistocene. It fed exclusively on kelp in the shallow coastal waters of the North Pacific. And when it disappeared, it took with it a grazing management function that the kelp forest ecosystem had been built around for thousands of years. Kelp forests are among the most productive marine ecosystems on Earth. They support more species per unit area than almost any other marine habitat, absorb carbon, buffer wave action, and provide nursery habitat for commercially important fish. They are currently collapsing across significant portions of the North Pacific due to sea urchin population explosions that the kelp cannot recover from fast enough. Urchin barrens, former kelp forest reduced to bare rock, are spreading. Steller's sea cow grazed kelp in patterns that created structural complexity and kept urchin populations in check. Its absence across 250 years removed that function entirely. Nothing alive has replaced it, and the kelp forests are failing in ways that are measurable, documented, and accelerating right now. Research into revival is in early stages. Scientists have identified the dugong, the sea cow's closest living relative, as the genetic foundation. An artificial womb approach is being explored for the embryonic development challenge, given the size gap between dugong and sea cow. No firm timeline exists yet. It is number 2, not because revival is imminent, but because the damage is the most active and most urgent of anything on this list except number 1. Number 1. The woolly mammoth. Estimated first calves, 2028. Tundra reintroduction, 2030s. Not because of the spectacle, because of the permafrost, and because this is the one with an actual countdown. Beneath the Siberian tundra lies approximately 1.5 trillion tons of frozen organic carbon, material from the Pleistocene grassland era locked in permafrost for 10,000 years, inert. As long as it stays frozen, the carbon stays out of the atmosphere. The permafrost is currently thawing, slowly but measurably, and the feedback loop, if it accelerates, is one of the most discussed and least solved problems in climate science. Sergei Zimov's 30 years of field data from Pleistocene Park in Siberia show something specific. Grassland keeps permafrost frozen better than the current tundra does. The grassland root structure and snow compression dynamics keep the ground colder, and grassland requires large grazing animals to maintain it. Animals that graze it compress the winter snow, fertilize the soil, and prevent the woody shrub succession that converts grassland to tundra. Zimov has been introducing horses, bison, and muskox to Pleistocene Park for 3 decades and documenting the grassland expansion that follows. But the animal missing from that restoration is the dominant ecosystem engineer, the mammoth, a grazer and browser at a weight and scale that nothing alive on the Siberian tundra today replicates. Colossal Biosciences is attempting a mammoth variant elephant embryo in 2026. The gestation period for an elephant is 22 months. If the embryo takes, a calf arrives in 2028. Every project Colossal is running is described as on schedule or ahead of schedule. They have not announced a failure. The mammoth variant calves, if they arrive, would spend years in managed care before any tundra reintroduction program could begin. The realistic timeline for animals functioning in the Siberian ecosystem is the 2030s. The mammoth is number 1 because its absence is not just an ecological loss. It is an active climate risk with a documented mechanism, 30 years of supporting field data, and a private company currently attempting to produce the first calves within 2 years. This is the one where the timeline is not a hope, it is a schedule. The honest caveat. Every animal on this list walks back into a world that changed while it was gone. The pigeon's forests are fragmented. The aurochs, grasslands, are farms. The frog's watershed still has the fungus. The sea cow's kelp forests are compromised. The mammoth's tundra is a different ecosystem from the one it built. De-extinction does not restore a lost world. It introduces something into a changed one and asks the changed world to accommodate it. The science is real. The timelines are real. The ecological arguments are real. Whether the changed world is ready for what is coming back into it is the question that none of the announcements answer. But the damage is measurable. The holes are documented. And for the first time in history, the technology to attempt repairs actually exists on a timeline measured in years. The question is not whether we can anymore. It is whether we move fast enough for it to matter. If the full story of the company driving most of this is what keeps you watching, our last video covers the part nobody is fully tracking. Watch The First Trees Almost Killed Everything on Earth next. The organisms we plant to fight climate change triggered a mass extinction larger than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. The coal we burn today is their graveyard, and the symmetry of what they did and what we are doing is almost too uncomfortable to ignore.